Hold on. You talk. Now let me make a point. I have not heard from the Trump administration. I've listened to every one of Donald Trump's press conferences since he took office. I listened to all Pete Hegseth's press conferences and Sean Duffy's. I didn't hear any of them say that if somebody who was black, blue, red, green, short, tall, female, male, whatever, got a job, it was because of lowered standards. I didn't hear that. You're changing the goalposts. They are saying that. No, they didn't.
They are saying that. It is called a dog whistle. They are saying that. In 2020, it was Black Lives Matter, right? In 2022, it was CRT. In 2024, it was woke. And now in 2025, it is DEI. All of that is
You're the one making this about race. They're the ones making it about merit.
They're the one that's making, Leland, they're the ones that are making this about race. Now, I didn't know you want to do this dance with me tonight. You should have told me I would have wore different dance shoes. They are making this about race. Every time I turn around, they're talking about DEI. They're making this about race.
Why? Okay, hold on. You're the one conflating. Hold on. Let me finish.
No, I'm not.
Let me finish. Okay? You're the one who's saying DEI equals race. They're the ones who say, we don't want DEI. It doesn't matter about race. We want merit.
No, but they're turning around in a backhanded way. See, you need to come on and travel through the black community with me and have this conversation in the black community. I want to invite you to do that because most black people understand what is going on here.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about this pretty fascinating interview on News Nation between Leland Vittert and Nina Turner. Now, if you guys are not familiar with Nina Turner, she is a progressive, socialist, race-hustling, failed politician, okay? She can't win a race for a national seat to save her life, right? I believe she's ran for Congress multiple times and she's failed, okay? So, she's not the big and bad politician that progressives made her out to be, right? I remember back in the day, maybe 5 or 6, 7 years ago, right? Nina Turner was all the talk on the left, right? She was supposed to be the next Bernie, right? She was supposed to be the black woman to save the Democrat Party, right? And the progressive left. So, with that being said, Nina Turner is going to discuss DEI, okay? And this idea that DEI means black, right? This is what the race hustlers have done, right? They basically have said that Trump eliminating DEI is an attack on black people, right? It means black. It is racism. But at the same time, right, on the other side of their mouth, they'll say that, well, no. Actually, DEI benefits liberal white women. White women benefit the most from DEI.
Tell you something. These white races, it don't matter. We could have 7 degrees each. You know what they're going to say? You're a DEI hire. You're a DEI hire. And all y'all white women, they talking to your ass. When the fires broke out, that white woman who was a fire chief in Los Angeles, they call her a DEI hire. You know why? Because she a lesbian. These white racists, they want heterosexual white men running everything. And guess what, all you dumbass white women, 52% that voted for Donald Trump, they can't stand your ass. I keep telling y'all white women, they want your ass to stay in that kitchen. The only clock they want you to look at is the clock on the stove. They want you to lay down, shut up, don't even moan, and birth their babies, and stay at home and take care of them. And y'all silly asses vote along with these white men. They don't want your ass in the workplace. They are mad as hell that y'all now can get jobs. These white men, they want America from the 1930s and 40s and 50s when white women knew their place, when black people knew their place, when Asian people knew their place.
That somehow DEI is responsible for what happened during that crash is outrageous. It is code for being anti-black, for being a bigot. And once you are anti-black, you really don't care about any other marginalized group. So we have got to push not just against Target, but other corporations that have, again, reaped the bounty of pretending like they care about DEI, but they really do not.
Yeah, so you see now you heard that. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Nina Turner, former Ohio State Senator, senior fellow at the New School Institute on Race, Power, and Political Economy. Jillian Michaels was on before the break. I don't know if you heard her, but she said a couple of things can be true at once. One, we don't know if DEI played any role in the hiring and of any of the people involved in the crash or training. Two, we're all old enough to remember when people waited a while after the bodies had already been recovered before they started politicizing three. And number three, and I think this may be the most important part, that the Obama and Biden policies as it related to the FAA and hiring are absolutely insane. Tell me why she's wrong.
Well, the third one, we need to delve more into that. That doesn't mean that there's a correlation between what just happened, the tragedy.
No, it doesn't. But nobody's defending the Obama-Biden policies. Everybody's saying it's too early, we don't know, on and on. But the fact remains that the FAA was hiring people based on things other than, are you the best to keep planes from crashing into each other, period.
Well, the way that you're framing this right now, I agree with Julian on most of what she had to say. And you're right, we are old enough to remember when folks would give condolences first, make sure investigations happen. People just lost their family, their friends, their coworkers, and the president did not do a presidential thing.
We stipulated all that, Nina. You're stonewalling here.
But
tell me why the FAA. No, hold on. You are stonewalling. Hold on. Tell me why the FAA putting out guidance that they want to hire people not best on best and brightest, and changing their standards and lowering their standards is a good thing.
Leland, now hold on. You know me. I never stonewall. First of all, this is not if he wants to investigate what the Biden and Obama administrations did, then do that. But give a moment. My only point is this: give a moment for the family and the friends.
Stipulating.
Now,
answer my question.
If in fact there were some policies within the Biden and the Obama administration that are not up to par, then let's have that discussion. All I'm simply saying is that throwing every DEI at everything is not the way to get at the fixes that are needed. That is
So, what's hilarious to me about these people? They keep talking about how, we need to wait before we start politicizing tragedies and stuff like that. And these are the same people that every time there's a mass shooting, the first thing they do is point the fingers at Republicans. That's the first thing they do. The first thing they do every single time there's a mass shooting is that they rush to politicize it. It doesn't matter how many dead children are involved, they politicize it. But now all of a sudden, hey, you just shouldn't politicize this tragedy. And listen, here's the thing. I wish we live in a world where, every time a tragedy happens, we're not pointing the fingers, but unfortunately we do live in that world. Okay. I just wish that Democrats would stop saying this, every single time, there is a tragedy and there is some blame to be placed on them. Now, in regards to what this host is saying, I think that he is correct in the sense that, we don't know if DEI had anything to do with this particular crash. Okay. Now, what we do know is that apparently the FAA, that air traffic control, is short-staffed, okay? And that could have been a part of the reason that could have played into it. We also now finding out more information about the pilot that was in control of the military Black Hawk helicopter that crashed into the American Airlines plane. And she just happened to be a female, okay? Very young. She went to UNC Chapel Hill. She graduated after I did. She worked for the Biden administration. And she didn't really have that many hours, right? That many training hours. So, I don't know, right? I don't know, okay? I'm not saying either way or the other. However, what I love about what this News Nation host is doing here, he's doing what other liberal media outlets refuse to do, which is to actually discuss what the president is talking about. What is he referencing when he talks about the racial discrimination that has happened at the FAA when it comes to hiring air traffic controllers? Because they discriminated against white applicants simply because they're white. Even though they were qualified, they said, no, we have to have a racial quota. So therefore, we're going to basically reject people who are qualified based off their skin color. And that's what happened. That's exactly what happened. And Nina Turner, who is one of these individuals who claims they're fighting against racism, right? For whatever reason, she doesn't have anything to say about this racism. And I think that this is a conversation that can be had without blaming DEI for what happened. We can still have a conversation about, hey, does it make sense to hire air traffic controllers based off race, right? Or to eliminate qualified air traffic controllers based off race. I think that's a more accurate way of describing what happened. Is that right? Is that something that you endorse? But again, like I tried to tell you guys, these people, they're not about racial equality. Okay, they're about racial superiority. That's what they're fighting for. This is why she can't just come out here and just say that was wrong and move on. She can't do that because, again, that's not what she's actually for. She's not for making sure there's no discrimination. She's totally fine with discrimination as long as it benefits certain people, not whites.
Well, if we can't acknowledge, okay, and these are claims from Adam Laxalt, who sued the FAA, and there's reasons to believe that they're true based on the documents.
Well, we can
2,000 qualified controllers not hired due to DEI. The Obama administration threw out aptitude tests because the tests changed. The way they picked controllers changed, and the standards were lowered so they could give preferences to people based on race and other criteria. Yes, they were.
You know what? Now, we want to talk about preferences based on race.
2,000 qualified controllers not hired due to DEI. The Obama administration threw out the test that is actually used to hire candidates based off merit, okay? And diverse candidates were more favored over the qualified. Again, this is textbook DEI. I just did a video yesterday, guys, about how DEI works with the Democrats and their clown show, with their DNC leadership elections, where they literally have gender quotas, right? Gender quotas in regards to who can be a leader. They don't go based off, okay, who gets the most votes? Okay, that's your leader, right? No. That's not how they do it, okay? They have to make sure that there is gender equity when it comes to leadership. And it ended up in a convoluted mess. That's what happened. That's what happens as a result of DEI.
Now, since you want to go there, Leland, we're going to go there. For the inception of this country, preferences have been given.
Oh, come on. No, I'm asking right now.
Leland, now, what I am saying to you is that all of this negative DEI talk makes it seem as though Black people in particular, and then other people of color in general, or people who are otherly able, cannot get jobs based on merit. I don't have a problem with the Trump administration digging through the Biden administration or the Obama administration to find what they see as flaws. What I do have a problem with, Leland, is this blanketed notion that if a Black person or other person of color obtains a job at the highest heights, that somehow it was not based on merit. Leland, that is my problem.
You're conflating something.
No, I'm not.
Hold on. You talk. Now let me make a point. I have not heard from the Trump administration. I've listened to every one of Donald Trump's press conferences since he took office. I listened to all Pete Hegseth's press conferences and Sean Duffy's. I didn't hear any of them say that if somebody who was black, blue, red, green, short, tall, female, male, whatever, got a job, it was because of lowered standards. I didn't hear that. You're changing the goalposts.
They are saying that.
No, they didn't.
They are saying that. It is called a dog whistle. They are saying that. In 2020, it was Black Lives Matter, right? In 2022, it was CRT. In 2024, it was woke. And now in 2025, it is DEI. All of that is
You're the one making this about race. They're the ones making it about merit.
They're the one that's making, Leland, they're the ones that are making this about race. Now, I didn't know you want to do this dance with me tonight. You should have told me I would have wore different dance shoes. They are making this about race. Every time I turn around, they're talking about DEI. They're making this about race.
Thanks for hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. You guys see how these race hustlers play these games? Well, DEI is code for black, right? But at the same time, they say, well, DEI mostly benefits white women, right? So I'm trying to figure out, what is it, right? Does DEI benefit black people the most? Is it code for black, right? Is it a dog whistle for black? Or is it something else? I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm very confused, right? I'm very confused. Because again, one day I'm told that, hey, this is a racist dog whistle against black folks. Another day I'm being told that, well, DEI mostly benefits white women. So therefore, it mainly affects them. I don't know which one it is. Okay. What I do know is that these race hustlers are full of it. Okay. And they're doing the exact same thing that they did during the 2024 election when it comes to Kamala Harris in the trans issues, right? They do this thing where they will push these woke divisive policies. And then when the right says, hey, we don't like these policies, that these policies are unpopular and that they're wrong, they say, oh, well, you're trying to make it about trans people. You're being transphobic, or you're trying to make this about black people. You're being racist, right? It's the exact same playbook. Democrats are for biological males being able to compete against girls in sports. When the right says, hey, we're not for that is something that shouldn't happen, they say, oh, well, again, you're being transphobic and you're trying to make this about trans people, right? When it's like, no, it's not actually really about trans people. It's about fairness in sports. It's about the fact that, hey, biological girls should be able to compete amongst themselves fairly, okay? It's about fair play in sport. That's what it's about. It's not about trans people or hating trans people, any of those things. It's about fairness. Same thing when it comes to the DEI stuff. The left says, hey, we want to implement this policy that discriminates against white people when it comes to hiring. And if you say something about it, then you're a racist, right? If you're opposed to discrimination, racial discrimination, then you are the racist, okay? And you hate blacks, so you're making it about black people. And it's like, no, it's about eliminating discrimination. It's about eliminating discrimination. It's about meritocracy. It's not about black people. It's not about Latinos or women or hating anybody that's not a straight white male Christian. That's not what it's about. It's about having the best people in jobs, in positions, in order to get the job done. That's what it's about. It's about meritocracy and hiring. But for whatever reason, these people see meritocracy as a threat because they think that by default, the system is racist. So therefore, you need discrimination in order to fix the racism. That's exactly where this comes from. That's where it comes from. That's why they don't see a problem with DI. They know it's discrimination. They know that they are hiring less qualified people in order to get the jobs, because if they really thought that all these people, these DI people are so qualified, then what are they boo-hooing and crying about? They can go get a job in the private sector, right? If all of these DI people, again, are so great, then there should be no outrage because they provide a positive return on investment to corporate America and the government, to employers. Employers are going to want to hire the best people. I don't know why these people think that employers care more about whiteness than they do about the bottom line, right? About the green. They care much more about green than the white, okay? I'm just keeping it 100. So if these so-called DEI hires were producing the green, okay, if they were increasing profit margins, bringing more money into the company, increasing revenue, if they were a positive return on investment, they're going to keep hiring them. There's not going to be any issues with these people getting jobs. But clearly that's not the case. Clearly that's not the case. Which is why there's backlash. Because they all know that DEI is racial discrimination, and they know that unqualified people are being put into positions that they shouldn't be in simply because of their race. Or the fact they're not white, put it that way, okay? So, you know, it's just hilarious to me because they always do this same trick. Oh, well, you're making it about race if you disagree with us. And it's like, no. You implement this policy. You push this policy. Us disagreeing with it is not us making it about race. It's us trying to eliminate something that is wrong and something that is a poison to society. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.